Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Honeywell Field in Wellesley, Massachusetts, here to bring you live coverage of today's high school JV girls soccer contest between the hosting Raiders of Wellesley High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Getting off to a bit of a late start as we were initially scheduled for a 4 p.m. start time. Brookline had some busing issues that caused them to arrive late, and so we're wasting no time, and we are getting this game underway. Wellesley takes the opening possession, moves it to the near side. It's poked out of bounds by the Brookline defense from number 20, Lele Adande. Wellesley working it upfield. It gets deflected into open space. Scrumming for the ball. Still scrumming for it. Several players in the pile there, and it is ultimately controlled by Wellesley as they had the power of numbers, but they are struggling to clear it out. This one is deflected. Player briefly down, and we might have an injury stoppage. Don't like to see that. A slight limp there for Brookline's number 15, Lila Gorman. She's coming off on her own power, which is a good sign. She'll be subbing out for number 23, Avera Willers. It'll be a free drop kick for the Raiders. And so here we go. Try and work it up the far side, but broken up by Brookline's number 6, Kaylee Coe. Wellesley takes it back along the far side, but kind of ran out of room there along the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Brookline. It's deflected, taken away by Wellesley. Pass goes to the middle from number 50, Hannah Thornton, to number 45, Kate Hassanane, and then kicked up field there off the head of Adande, and then an attempted bicycle kick goes off ahead, and I think the Wellesley player unintentionally tripped the Brookline player. That will be a penalty, and Brookline will get the free kick. Or no, it's just a drop ball for Wellesley. That is Hassanane passing up for Thornton, intercepted, stolen away by Adande. Kicked up field for number 14, Anna Baker-Dimmock. Pass back, kicked up field, deflected every which way. And now it works down the far side. Wellesley keeps it in bounds. Knocked out of bounds by the Brookline defense. I believe that's number 4, Hannah Greer, who knocked it out. It was number 44, Avery Thornton, who is racing that one upfield. Bit hard to tell from the far side, but Brookline manages to get it away. They're trying to dribble out of their own end. They got some space now. Pass upfield is off the mark, taken away by the Raiders, but that pass deflected. Nice play by Baker-Dimmock, and then Riley Jernigan kicks it upfield. Walled off by the Raiders, but then kicked forward again. Baker-Dimmock trying to race upfield, but cannot beat the Wellesley back, but does take it away. Passes it back to Willers, who pops it into the air, and that's going to roll out of bounds on the far side. Throw-in deflects. Controlled by number 16, Eva Berkson. Sent to the far side, that's Willers. Willers trying to work around several defenders, and ultimately the Wellesley defender, I believe number 36, Grace Hasselback, got a favorable deflection there. Throw in for Hannah Thornton, deflected to the middle to Hassanane. Hassanane sends a pass out to the far side, complete to number 31, Sari Hart, but taken away by Brookline's number 9, Elin Lindgren-Palm. Pass back and forth. Lindgren-Palm sends it up the line for number 1, Astrid Negrovic. Negrovic sends it further, but it's going to be a little too far for Baker-Dimmock to chase down. But Negrovic keeping up the pursuit. They do clear it out, however, off the efforts of number 43, Kate Cooney. Sends it up to number 42, Sabrina Gabriel. Gabriel sends it out to the far side. Completes it to Avery Thornton. Avery Thornton kicks it towards the middle. It's booted away by the Brookline defense. Willers sends it upfield, but it is collected again by Cooney. Passed up to number 35, Avery Van Beert. Sent out to the far side now, kicked away by Brookline, I believe. That was Brookline's number 5, Alexa Lieberman-Wingirter. Off a number of deflections, it's kicked back by Baker Dimmock, goes back to Adonde. Adonde trying to work her way through, but too much traffic, it's kicked away. A race down the near side. Riley Jernigan going to get there first. Passes it. Around they go with the passing. Now they work it up to Negrovic, but Negrovic misses. Lindgren Palm out of bounds. Wellesley ball. Throwing up the line, immediately booted out by Adonde. And it'll be another Wellesley throw-in. Throw-in for Hannah Thornton. Taps it back. Now to the middle and all the way back to Cooney. Cooney sends it over some heads, but it's intercepted there by Coe. Passed forward for Willers, but taken away by Avery Thornton. Avery Thornton stood up by Coe. Willers comes in to help and knocks it out of bounds. Throw in down the far side, knocked not out of bounds. It looked like Brookline's defense was trying to knock it out of bounds, but with the grass not being turf, it doesn't roll as far, and so it stayed in bounds. Now, Hassanin was trying to counter there, cleared away by Brookline, gets up to Baker Dimmock. Touch pass, finds its target. That's Eva Berkson. Berkson tries to send one ahead for Baker Dimmock, cut off by Wellesley's number 32, Audrey Birmingham. Throw in. Deflected away. Cooney controlling it for Wellesley. Two players getting wrapped up and no whistle on either side. Willers trying to work it up the far side, runs into Avery Thornton and runs out of room. Thornton now throws it in for Hannah Thornton. Off several deflections, it's controlled by Willers, but in comes Hassanin to take it away. Now kicked upfield, a nice leader potentially for Baker Dimmock, but cut off by Cooney. Kicked out to the far side to Lila Newman. Newman kicks it upfield, deflects, and it's Hassanin who ultimately kicks it, but it's taken by Lindgren Palm. Sent back to Jernigan. Sent upfield, kicked away by number 48, Caitlin Hamburger. Now sent way upfield. It's a race for the ball. Kicked further up the line. And that is going to go out of bounds and be Brookline ball. Number 31, Sari Hart, was trying to make something happen, but was well defended, I believe, by Lindgren Palm. Couple substitutions coming in for Brookline. I saw number 2, Penelope West, and number 25, Anita Jesus. Throw in from Brookline. Controlled for the moment by Wellesley. Hassanin dribbling around, ran out of room, stolen away by Jesus, but knocked back by Hamburger. Kicked forward off several deflections. It is poked forward for Berkson, sent up to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock sends a leader. And that's sent forward by Selena Charbonneau, who also just subbed in, but too far. Wellesley takes it back. Working it down the far side is Avery Thornton, leading too far, and it's kicked away by Greer. Passing it back, it goes to the middle, but deflects too far. It's taken by Charbonneau, passed up for Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock trying to cut through, gets tripped up hard, but they say they caught ball first, no call. Goes down the near side. Adonde gonna box out for the out of bounds. Throw in. Stolen away by Sari Hart. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Wellesley ball. Hart will throw this one in. Deflects going towards the back line, but it is kept in bounds and collected by the Brookline netminder, Chloe Price. Price punts it. Gets it perfectly to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock kicks it, goes past the defender, now a race to the ball, but it is going to be won by the Wellesley defender, but it's stolen back by Charbonneau. Charbonneau pass to the middle to Lieberman Wingirter, who lifts it over a defender, but the defender is still going to get there first. That is Newman, who is on defense there for Wellesley. Pass towards the middle, taken away by Jesus. Passed forward to number 2, Penelope West. Passed back to Jesus, sent forward, kicked away. And now another race to the ball, going to be won by Hannah Thornton. Thornton can't get past Jernigan. Jernigan working it up the near side. Manages to find enough space to get a pass up to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock sends it towards the middle to Charbonneau. Charbonneau sends it back to Coe. Coe sends it upfield for Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock's got some space in front of the defense. Baker Dimmock racing up the far side. Pulls back. Being met by Newman, but she gets around. Sends a crosser to the box. Over the head of her intended target. Just a little too high. Lele Adonde kicks it up the line. It deflects a couple times. And now a chance. Eva Berkson fires a shot, and it's saved. Save made by the Wellesley keeper. Punts it towards midfield. Hassanein had it for a second, but instead, an attempted pass deflected away by Coe, taken by Charbonneau. Her pass intercepted by number 35, Van Beert. Kicked upfield. And they called Brookline for a violation. You can't kick the ball while you're on the ground. And so this will be a free kick for Wellesley. Kick in, walled down by Brookline, kicked out, I believe it was Coe. Chased down by Gabriel, passed back to Hamburger, back up to Gabriel. Gabriel passing to the outside, intercepted by Adonde. Left for Jesus, passed back to Jernigan. Jernigan boots it upfield for Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock trying to fight against multiple defenders. It is poked away, but goes back to Jesus, who pops it upfield. A race for the ball. Selena Charbonneau collects it, but cannot keep up the momentum. Her pass deflected back, but collected by Lieberman Wingirter. Raises it out to the far side. It's deflected away, and Greer kicks it out of bounds. It is Brookline ball off the deflection, thrown in. Cooney passes it out to Avery Thornton on the far side. Gets it up to Hannah Thornton. Dribbling towards the middle. Space to work. She tries to send a pass through, but it's cut off by Jernigan, and a nice box out by Adonde to assist. Lost out of bounds. Wellesley ball, and now the ref calling for subs. As Wellesley bringing in, I believe, 6 new substitutions. Wellesley throw in, going towards the middle, misses a couple players, and ultimately collected by Brookline, passed up to Baker Dimmock, dribbling across midfield, battling Cooney, finally ran out of room, and it's taken away, but taken back, a bit of a scrum for the ball. That's Grace Hasselbeck, number 36, who sent that one up the line, and it's knocked out of bounds, I believe, by Greer. Throw in, off ahead, and forward. Big chance for Wellesley, but they couldn't get a proper crosser in, and it's cleared out by the Brookline defense. Throw in for number 40 pass. Could not quite get through. It's cleared out by Brookline. Gets up to Baker Dimmock again. Baker Dimmock gets through Cooney. trying to get through Newman, but cannot. Still trying to keep up the attack, but outnumbered here. Stolen away by Hasselback. Sent out to the far side. Cut off by Coe. Kicked forward. Hasselback takes it back again, but a deflection gives it right back to Brookline. Berkson lifts one. Going to be too far, and the goalie going to clear it out. Now Wellesley with the ball. That's Hasselback. Kicks it. Walled down by the Brookline defense. I believe that was, I want to say, Jernigan. Throw in now for Wellesley on the far side. And it's booted upfield by Coe. Race for the ball. It's sent to the outside, sliced into the air by Cooney. First one to get it was number 32, Audrey Birmingham. Brookline now takes it back, launches it out to the near side, and it's going to roll out of bounds. This will be a Wellesley throw-in. And it's popped right back out of bounds. And they just let the throw-in go. Wellesley working it up the near side to number 40, Layla Etcher. Racing up the line. And penalty called on Jernigan for the collision there. It'll be a free kick for the Raiders. No score here in the first half. No scoreboard clock here, so I can't tell you how much time we got left. Just got to await. The only way we're going to know the end of the half is when we hear the double whistle from the officials. In the meantime, for Wellesley, setting up for the free kick is number 48, Caitlin Hamburger. Kick coming straight towards the net. It's walled down by Jernigan. Slices off her foot and bounces out of bounds. Throw in. And we got a whistle. I think that might have been an offsides whistle against Wellesley. Free kick coming for Brookline. Jernigan setting up to kick this one away. Kick is downed, pushed forward, and ultimately kicked out of bounds by Jesus. That was number 40, Etcher, again applying pressure. Throw in, bouncing along. Collision knocks it loose. It's kicked from Berkson to West, forward to Baker Dimmock, now back to Jernigan. Jernigan boots it upfield. It is downed by Hamburger, but recovered by Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock sends a leader. Charbonneau off to the races. Selena Charbonneau racing towards the net, fires a shot, and it's saved. Punt towards midfield is downed, but kicked forward by number 57, Addison Flagg. Adonde gets there first and kicks it out of bounds. And now, with subs coming in on both sides, they are able to bring them in. About 5 new players coming in for Brookline. I think 1 came in for Wellesley. This will be Wellesley ball. Number 47, Jacqueline Lefebvre throwing it in. Deflects off Jesus to Willers, back to Jesus, forward to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock dribbling, turns around, sends it back, goes all the way back to Jernigan, who whiffs on the kick, has to recover fast and send a pass out to Lindgren Palm, who's back in the game. Lindgren Palm manages to wrestle it away and kick it upfield. It's downed by Cooney. Cooney boots it back the other way, but it goes right to Coe. Coe stood up briefly, and a hard collision with Hasselback is going to draw the penalty call on Hasselback. Free kick coming for Brookline. It is Hannah Greer sending it forward off the foot of Baker Dimmock, now off the foot of Hasselback. Bouncing off the head of Greer, off the foot of number 8, Olivia Baker. Out to the far side to number 21, Lena Bondari Cordoba. Now a couple of deflections. Hasselback along the far side sends it up the line. It's a race for the ball. Getting there first is Coe, taps it for Greer, who kicks it upfield. Collected by Cooney, knocked away by Baker. Baker's got some space to work. Baker sends one forward for Baker Dimmock, but she gets swarmed by the Wellesley defense, and they're going to call a penalty there on Baker Dimmock, and this is going to be a free kick. No, they called the penalty on Hasselback. This is going to be a free kick for Brookline. Oh, it wasn't a penalty. It was a handball. That's why. Jernigan kicks it forward. Now Jesus kicks it forward. And racing after it is Newman as it kind of dies near the back line. Newman manages to escape a bit. Cordoba applying some pressure. Gets it forward, but then Coe kicks it back off the deflection. It's taken by Baker. Baker matched up with Cooney. Cooney walls off the attempted crosser and clears it out. Taken back by Brookline off some weird deflections, but it goes into open space where it's taken by the Raiders. Kicked upfield by Lefebvre, and now upfield it is taken. Etcher racing upfield. Etcher got some space, fires a shot, but it's taken off a couple hops by Price. Price punts it. Bounces past the defense. Cooney racing back to get it. Kicks it upfield. Finds her target, number 51, Sofia Pavano. Pavano sends it out. Deflects too far away from Lefebvre. Jesus kicks it. It's kicked right back. And now kicked up by Nigrovic. Goes up to Willers. Willers sends it back to Nigrovic. Nigrovic sends it up the middle. Finds Baker Dimmock, who fires a shot, but not enough juice on it. And it's taken off the hop by the Wellesley keeper. Punted out to the far side. Sliced towards the middle for Flag. Flag dribbling. Kicks it up to Hasselback. Hasselback tried to send it out the far side, intercepted by Coe, but Hasselback right there to keep up the pursuit. Cordoba sends it forward. It's sent right back. Off a deflection, it's Hasselback. Hasselback trying to dribble through the middle, finds a lane. Hasselback racing into the Brookline end, gets around a defender, but it's disrupted just enough for Coe to kick it away, up to Greer, who sends it up to Nigrovic, out to Cordoba. Cordoba lost it and it's kicked away. Wellesley sends it back up to Hasselback. Out to the far side. Kick deflected, controlled by Jernigan. Passed over to Lindgren Palm. Now back to Price. Price passes up to Greer. Now up the far side for Coe. Coe with some space, now sends it up the line. It gets up to Baker Dimmock, but a little too far. Cooney cuts it off. Baker Dimmock wrestles it away, though. Baker Dimmock trying to race, but Cooney keeps up the physical fight. Kick downed by Jesus. Now knocked away by Lefebvre. Lefebvre kicks it upfield, deflected away by Coe. Greer boots it. Goes up, misses Cordoba. Hasselback takes it, starts dribbling again, weaves around a defender, now sends a pass through to Etcher. Etcher stood up well. Lindgren Palm did not fall for the juke, and she boots it upfield. Cooney going to get there first, pass it out to Newman. Newman boots it, walled off by Cordoba. Now Cooney with it again. Dribbling, sends pass up the middle to Hasselback. Now a scrum for the ball. Hasselback still with it, trying to send a pass out the far side. Newman sends it upfield. Now a pass to the middle for Flagg. Flagg sends it forward, but nobody there except Jernigan. Jernigan sends it back up for Willers, knocked away from Willers, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Brookline ball, and another flurry of subs coming in. Throw in from Lindgren Palm. Deflects several which ways. And ultimately it's controlled by Etcher. Etcher sends one out the near side for Hannah Thornton. And ran out of space on the sideline. It'll be a throw in for Brookline. Throw in. Etcher passes it back. Kicked to the middle, downed by Lieberman Wingirter, but controlled by Hannah Thornton. Pass finds number 38, who tries to send one through, but it's kicked away by Greer. Bouncing, out of bounds, Wellesley ball. Number 38, Bhavna Gopal, throwing it in for Wellesley. Deflects off the foot of Thornton and booted into the air by Lindgren Palm. Knocked out of bounds. Gopal couldn't quite kick it away in time, as it was last touched by Birmingham. Throw in for Brookline, knocked down, and West boots it upfield. Birmingham racing after it, kicking it, but again, Gopal can't keep it in bounds. It'll be another Brookline throw-in. West throwing it in, deflects back to West. West pops it high in the air, bouncing along, deflects, still deflecting. Willers pops it up, and it's almost dropped by the goalie, but not quite. Number 15, Lila Gorman, who is back in the game after a brief injury scare in the opening minutes, almost had a juicy rebound there, but goalie managed to keep her hands on it. This one sent up the far side into the Wellesley end. Pass over to Cooney. Now this pass intercepted by Gorman. Knocked away, but Brookline keeping it up. Berkson passes it up to Gorman. Now to the middle to Willers. Willers has to tap it back to Berkson. Berkson fakes, dribbles, fires, saved! Some nice moves by Eva Berkson, and a nice kick with her off foot, but the Wellesley goalie's been making a number of nice saves today. Greer kicks it upfield, deflected by Cooney. Willers was right there to apply pressure, but Cooney keeps control. Sent out of bounds. It'll be a Brookline throw-in. Throw-in up the line. Number 35, Van Beert, knocks it out of bounds. Throw in is booted away. Downed by Lieberman Wingirter. Deflected and taken by Hasselback. Sent up the line and now to the middle to Hasselback again. Hasselback kicks a leader for Etcher, and Etcher gets past the defense. Etcher trying to race upfield, but Greer races back to disrupt her. She stops, fires, walled off by Greer. Lieberman Wingirter clears it away. Out of open space, it is taken back briefly, but then booted into the air by Berkson. Pass to the outside for Van Beert. Poked away by Gorman, recovered by Cooney, sent forward for Hasselback. Pass deflected, controlled by Gorman. Pass barely gets up to Willers, but stolen away by Cooney. Cooney up in the air, bouncing along, kicked away by Lindgren Palm. Deflects, but controlled by number 51, Pavano. Pavano dribbling forward, tries a pass, walled off by Jernigan. Jernigan trying to dribble out, taken away by Flagg. Meeting Flagg at the ball is West, and West kicks it up to Berkson. Berkson can't get around Hasselback. Hasselback passes up to Pavano. Pavano back to Hasselback. Hasselback fires, walled off again by Greer. Recovered by Pavano. Pass knocked away. Taken by Gorman. Gorman walled off by Van Beert, and now a long kick from Brookline goes down to the Wellesley end, where it's taken by Cooney. Cooney sends it all the way back to the goalie. Now out to the near side to Gopal. Gopal to the middle to Birmingham. Sends it forward. Scrum for the ball is ultimately won by Gopal, but then stolen away by Lindgren Palm. Passed across and sent forward. That's Berkson. Berkson trying to send one through and has to send it out to the near side, and nobody is there. Subs coming in for both sides, and it'll be Brookline ball. Throw in to come from Lindgren Palm. Throw in towards the middle, bouncing along. Kicked by Lieberman Wingirder. Charbonneau trying to fight for it. It's kicked into open space by Berkson. Goes out to Lindgren Palm. Sent back to the middle for Lieberman Wingirder. Back to Lindgren Palm, but missed. Recovered by Berkson. Berkson dribbling around. Passes out to Nigrovic. Nigrovic pass to the near side. Kicked away by Gopal. Recovered by Ko. Ko kicks it back towards the middle. Knocked away by Hart. Recovered by Greer. Greer boots it upfield, deflected by Gopal, collected by Hannah Thornton. Hannah Thornton battling Lindgren Palm. It's knocked back, but then booted upfield by Hamburger. Downed by Adonde. Kicked forward to Lieberman Wingirder. Scrum for the ball. Charbonneau comes out with it. Charbonneau still dribbling with it. Passes out to an open Lindgren Palm on the near side. Lindgren Palm fakes out a defender, stays with the ball, kicks it to the middle to Nigrovic. Nigrovic walled off from the ball by Hassanein. Pass deflected a couple times, taken by Berkson. Sent all the way back to Greer. Greer boots it. Deflects off the foot of a defender. Dangerously through the middle, but it's deflected away by Hamburger. Recovered by Charbonneau. Pass for Baker Dimmock. Gets away. Birmingham trying to clear it. Can't do it. Goes out of bounds. Throw in from Ko, goes over the head. Now booted away, deflected down, controlled by Birmingham, who gets around Ko, gets through Nigrovic, gets the pass up to Hannah Thornton. Thornton dribbling, sends a pass back to Hassanein. Hassanein sends it across to Van Beert. Van Beert boots it upfield, deflects, favorable deflection to Etcher. Etcher racing. Running out of room, she now sends in the crosser. It's deflected away, but down to the far side to Avery Thornton, who's keeping up the offensive pressure. Tries to pass it back to create an opening. Pass to the middle, knocked away by Brookline. Van Beert recovers. Kicks it to the middle. Off ahead. Kicked by Thornton. Kicked back by Jernigan. Downed by Hamburger. Recovered by Lindgren Palm. Lindgren Palm taken by Hamburger, left for Hannah Thornton. Now pass out to the outside to Gopal, and Gopal ran out of room. Throw in from Ko. Lost out of bounds, and it's once again Brookline ball. Another quick throw in, deflected away by Hamburger and Birmingham. Greer kick. Weird deflection, and it has to be booted out by Nigrovic, as Etcher was keeping up that forward pressure. Gopal throws it in. Greer going to cut it off, send it out to the near side. Ko keeping it in bounds. Off the deflection, Etcher takes it. Etcher lifts a crosser, but it's taken off the hop by Price. They had Avery Thornton crashing to the net, trying to see if she could get a piece of it, but not before it wound up in the hands of the Brookline netminder. Price punts it. Deflect. Kicked by Nigrovich. Downed by Cooney. Kicked forward by Lieberman Wingirder. Chased down by Hamburger. Pass up to Gopal. Wrestled away by Lindgren Palm. Taps it for Coe. Coe has to tap it out of bounds. Pressure coming from Hannah Thornton and Audrey Birmingham. Throw in. Trying to lead for Birmingham. Jernigan trying to disrupt it. So is Coe. Birmingham staying with it. Still battling Coe. It's forced out of bounds, and Brookline gets the favorable deflection. Good defensive persistence by Kaylee Coe to force that out of bounds. And that is going to be our whistle for halftime. No score through the first half. Brookline 0, Wellesley 0. I see we've got one note in the live chat from Tom Rinker shouting out Price, as in Brookline goalie Chloe Price, as she allows no goals through the first half. I expect we're going to see Brookline's other JV netminder, Emily Morse, in the second half. But in the meantime, we are at halftime. And at this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the Foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, thanks to the generosity of over 140 donors over 9 years of the scholarship's existence, BCF has raised over $1.4 million in scholarship funding and awarded over $180,000 to BHS students in scholarships just last year in 2023. Your support is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And remember, as always, you can find that link and that phone number for our local charity spotlight down in the description section down below, where you can also find a link to the Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club that supports both Brookline High boys and girls soccer at all three levels, varsity, JV, and freshman. They do a lot of work to help support the program, including booking me for some of the games that I'm covering this year, so be sure to show your support for the program. Again, you can find that down in the description section. But for now, scoreless at half from Honeywell Field, the campus of Wellesley High School in Wellesley, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, scoreless at half, and I will be back. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I'll be back for the second half. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Hunnewell from Hunnewell Park on the campus of Wellesley High School in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of the second half of this JV girls soccer contest between the hosting Wellesley High Raiders and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. No score here at the midway point. We saw some big chances, especially from Brookline, led by some offensive pushes from players like Anna Baker-Dimmock and Lila Gorman and Eva Berkson, but nothing was able to get past the Wellesley netminder, number 14, Bryn Franciscini, who made a number of nice saves in the first half. Wellesley did come up with some offensive threats, but nothing too challenging for Brookline's first half netminder, Chloe Price. Now here in the second half, they're going to have Emily Morse taking the spot between the pipes for the Warriors. Brookline going to get the opening possession of the second half as we have now switched sides. Anna Baker-Dimmock gets us started. Pass back to Eva Berkson. Sent upfield, pass bounces past one defender, but not past Bhavna Gopal, who works it up the far side, kicks it upfield. Racing after it is Hannah Greer, who kicks it out of bounds. Throw in. Several deflections. It's Hannah Thornton. Touch pass through for Hassanein. Hassanein turns around, passes back to Gopal. Gopal pops one in the air, bouncing along. Avery Thornton sends a kick through, but it's an easy snag off one hop for Emily Morse. Morse punts it. Bouncing along, it's taken by Kate Cooney. Cooney kicks it up the near side. Kaylee Coe going to get there first and kick it upfield. Completes the pass to Berkson. Berkson wrestling with a player, and it's knocked back to Coe, who kicks it into open field. Cooney passes it over to Audrey Birmingham. Birmingham dribbling through, sends a pass forward aimed at Etcher. Physical scrum for the ball. It's ultimately cleared into open space where it's going to be taken by Hassanein. Katie Hassanein sends it out to the far side for Hannah Thornton. Thornton gains the edge, trying to approach, and it's deflected out of bounds by Brookline's Riley Jernigan, but that is going to force the game's first corner kick. Gopal setting up to take this corner kick. Kicked, deflected, and booted away by Brookline. Off the head of Cooney. It's chased down by Caitlin Hamburger, sent up the line. Now Lele Adonde tries to kick it back. It deflects out of bounds. Throw in. Hamburger passes to the middle to Cooney. Cooney sends it up to Avery Thornton, and that's a handball called against Thornton, and it's going to be a free kick for Brookline. Greer kicks it, goes off the head of Lila Gorman, going down to the Wellesley end. Cooney had no room to clear it. It's going to be out of bounds. Coe throws it in for Berkson. Berkson fends off the defense, but only for so long. Hassanein takes it away. Gorman takes it back, leaves it for Berkson, who tries to send one up the middle, but miscommunication on the cut, and it's cleared out by Hamburger. Throw in from Coe, goes off the head of Gorman, off the head of Berkson. Down, Berkson trying to fight her way through. Hamburger deflects it away. It's kicked up the line for Avery Thornton. Baker Dimmock keeping up the pressure, but it gets passed away to Cooney and then back to Thornton. Thornton boots it up the near side and out of bounds. Coe throws it in. Baker Dimmock fighting her way through into the corner. Kicks, gets the favorable deflection, and Brookline will have their first corner kick. Wait, they called a goal kick. Maybe it went out the back line before Baker Dimmock kicked it, because I thought for sure that deflected off Cooney, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's the official's call. And it's going to be an over-the-back foul on Brookline. Birmingham takes the free kick. It's downed. Hassanein fights for the ball, but no one to pass it to. It's taken away by Elin Lindgren-Palm. Pass to the middle for Alexa Lieberman-Wingirter, but deflected away, taken back. Birmingham boots it up the far side, and they call offsides on Hannah Thornton. Free kick coming for Brookline. This will be Jernigan. Jernigan boots it upfield, deflects several times. Still deflecting back and forth. Booted into the air by Hamburger, off the head of Lieberman-Wingirter. Booted upfield by Greer. Kicked back by Van Beert. Back and forth it keeps going. And now a whistle. Not sure if they called a penalty, a handball, or what, but either way it's going to be a free kick for Wellesley. This one will be taken by Avery Van Beert. Van Beert kicks it forward, deflects, booted away by Jernigan. Off the knee of Cooney, off the head of Gorman. Cooney cuts it off, tries to clear, but it's Gorman right there waiting for it, tries to kick it forward, but Van Beert's going to get there first. Van Beert working it towards the corner, tries a kick, and it's going to be out of bounds, Wellesley ball. Throwing up the line. It's kicked right back to Van Beert, who kicks it, deflects several which ways. Gorman had it for a second, but now taken away and kicked up the line by number 31, Sari Hart. Going to roll out of bounds and be Brookline ball. Quick throw in from Coe, deflects the wrong way off Berkson and out of bounds. Van Beert throws it in for Avery Thornton. Off her head to keep it in bounds. Gets up to Layla Etcher, who tried to kick it forward, but Brookline was there to cut it off. Greer kicks it upfield, and it rolls out of bounds. Throw in. Deflects a couple times. Lieberman-Wingirter leaves it for Gorman, passes up to Baker Dimmock. Offsides called. Kick upfield, touched forward by Etcher. Race for the ball is won by Coe, and she just knocks it out of bounds. Substitutions coming in on both sides. As both teams sub in several players, we now have a throw-in for Wellesley. That one's going to go off the knee of Etcher and out of bounds. Off the throw-in from number 37, Piper Newman. Throw-in from Coe, knocked out of bounds again by Piper Newman. Coe. Throw in this time, deflects off a Brookline player, off Selena Charbonneau. Throw in for Wellesley, deflected again, And it's lost out the back line. Last touch by Brookline. That's going to be another Wellesley corner kick. Second corner of the day for the Raiders. I think that bit hard for me to tell. I think that's Hasselback, Grace Hasselback, who's going to take this kick for the Raiders. Boots it, coming in high. Bouncing several which ways, and it's cleared out. Boy, when a corner kick drops right in the field in between several players, that always gets a little scary. Just like that got briefly scary as Morse juggled the ball a bit, but does get her hands on it and now punts it up to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock dribbling, now sends a leading kick. It's a race to the ball. And Selena Charbonneau gets a deflection. Charbonneau fakes, fires a shot, and it's booted away by the Wellesley defense. And it's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in coming for Brookline, deep in the Wellesley end. Throw-in. Baker Dimmock, crosser, over the head of West. Just a smidge too high. Going down the far side, it is kicked to the Brookline end. Greer kicks it right back. Addison Flagg kicks it right back for the Raiders, but then Greer sends it away again. Now Hasselback slices it down the near side, and that's going to be out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw in. Bit of a collision, but it's ultimately booted into the air by Greer. Lieberman Wingirder. They whistle Lieberman Wingirder for a violation there, and that's going to be a free kick for Wellesley. It's going to be Gopal taking this free kick. Boots it in the air. Juggled off the hop by Morse, but she manages to snag it. Morse punts it. Bouncing. Awkwardly headed down by number 34, Lila Newman. Gets up to Piper Newman. Kick to the middle to Flagg. Flagg sends it back to Gopal. Gopal kicks it. Lele Adonde kicks it, and it goes sideways off her foot and out of bounds. Throw in. Kicked out of bounds again by Brookline. Another throw in for the Raiders. That one's just rolling up the line. Adonde just going to box it out and let it roll out the back for a goal kick. Jernigan with the goal kick goes up to Adonde. Adonde kind of got stuck on the grass there, and Greer kicks it away to the far side, gets to West. West kicks it further up to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock turns around, looks, kicks it upfield to Berkson. Berkson starts dribbling, cuts, now passes to the near side to Coe. Coe stops, jukes, can't get an opening against Hasselback. And Hasselback gets the favorable deflection out of bounds. Hasselback throws it. Greer going to get there first and kick it out of bounds. Throw in from Piper Newman gets to Etcher. Etcher stood up by Greer, and Greer boots it away. Bouncing past a couple defenders, but it's Hamburger who boots it back. Bouncing up the near side. Out of bounds, last touched by Brookline. Quick throw in, deflected by Greer and booted away by Jernigan. Downed by Hamburger. Rolls over to Hasselback. Hasselback tries to kick it forward, walled off by Jernigan. Hasselback keeping up the pursuit of the ball, but kicks that pass a little too hard. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a Brookline ball, and we've got a massive substitution for Brookline. 5 players coming in. Both teams still looking for their first score today. 0-0 here in the second half. Throw in. Anita Jesus kicks it, and it goes out of bounds off Lila Newman. Coe throws it in again, right to Hasselback. Hasselback pops it over the head of the defense, and racing in is Etcher. Etcher cutting around, but Greer pokes it. Good combined defense of Jernigan and Greer. That was a very dangerous rush from Etcher. Scrum. Out of it comes Piper Newman. Tries to kick it. It's booted away again by Greer. Sub coming in for Wellesley now. That's number 50, Hannah Thornton. As she comes in replacing Etcher. Lila Newman throws it in right to Hannah Thornton. And now Hasselback had it, but Jesus kicked it away. Goes over to Avera Willers. Tapped back for Astrid Nigrovich. Kicks it forward for Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock fakes out one defender. Tries to force her way through another, but she's walled off. Keeping up with the ball. Trying to work it down the far side. Running out of room, but it is kicked out of bounds by Gopal. Throw in. Kicked away by Hamburger. Out of bounds. Brookline ball again. Throw in goes back to Jesus. Jesus. Again, it's booted out by Wellesley. Throw in. Scrum. Ultimately cleared out by Cooney. Olivia Baker tried to tap it, but went off her foot the wrong way, and it's taken by Hannah Thornton. Hannah Thornton stood up by Greer, and a bit of a struggle to corral it by Wellesley. Sliding in to knock it loose is Nigrovich. Taps it for Baker, but another scrum and flag comes out with it. Kicks it. Jernigan comes in and boots it back to the Wellesley end. Hamburger sends it up to Gopal, who kicks it towards the middle, downed by Jesus, but knocked away by Thornton. Another scrum for the ball, and it gets up to Thornton. Deflected towards the middle, hard collision. And now it's booted deep into the Brookline end, where it's taken by Jernigan. Jernigan kicks it up the middle, up to Willers. Willers pass deflected, but collected, and then passed over to Baker Dimmock. Baker Dimmock dribbling, tried to tap it forward, but nobody there. It's popped up in the air with some backspin by Lila Newman. Fighting for it was Lena Bandari Cordova, but numbers were not on her side there. Wellesley working it upfield. This is Hannah Thornton with the ball. And lost her footing there, but still maintains possession. Passes it back. Disrupted briefly by Willers, but it is recovered by Gopal. Gopal with some space to dribble, and finally it's booted away by Jernigan. Recovered now by number 51, Sophia Pavano, and it's deflected out of bounds by Brookline. Throw in, deflects, and the clear attempt deflects, but it's recovered by Jernigan and booted upfield. Another flurry of deflections, and it's Hasselback. Hasselback's got a bit of a lane, cuts around the defender. Hasselback fires, and Hasselback breaks the scoreless tie. Grace Hasselback with the first goal of the day. And just simply good speed, good ball control, and a good shot. You know, the deflection just happened to bounce into an open space where she had the best pass to the ball. She made a nice juke to get around the only defender that had a chance at her, and made a nice shot that really there wasn't enough time for Morse to react to. So a 1-0 lead for Wellesley off the goal from Grace Hasselback. And now Brookline needs to make something happen if they want to get back in this. Out of bounds, it will be Brookline ball. Coe throws it in. Jesus pops it upfield. Cooney deflects it briefly, but it is ultimately taken by Hamburger, but left for Cooney. Pass now for Lila Newman. Newman tries to kick it, gets it up to Hasselback. Hasselback tries to dribble and does kick it upfield, gets through the defense and up to Piper Newman. Now meeting her is Greer. Greer sends it up for Baker Dimmock. Deflects back and forth. Still fighting for it, and ultimately coming away with it is Cooney. Cooney boots it upfield. Lindgren Palm chases it down, passes it over to Jernigan. Now up, knocked out of bounds. They're going to say Wellesley ball, and another flurry of substitutions coming in on both sides. Throw in for Wellesley is off the head of Lindgren Palm, out of bounds again. Another throw in for the Raiders, deflected up in the air. Corralled by the Raiders. We got a late whistle. Again, no scoreboard clock here, so we can't tell exactly how much time is left. We're just waiting for the 3 whistles of the ref that would signal the end of the game. And for Brookline, they're hoping they have enough time to at least get 1 and tie this game back up before that happens. Berkson racing upfield, kicks a leading kick. Lila Gorman putting on the Jets, but so is Cooney, and Cooney had the angle to cut her off. Cooney boots it, downed by Lindgren Palm, who fights through Hasselback, tries a pass, intercepted, and kicked away by Hart. Gets up to, I believe, Birmingham. Birmingham, pass to Hannah Thornton, who sends it back up the far side to Birmingham, just barely caught by Greer to stop that offensive chance. But Thornton takes the ball back. Thornton trying to weave her way through the defense, but too many white jerseys in there. It's knocked away. Recovered by Hassanane. Kick deflects back to Hassanane, and then pass to the outside. Now lifted towards the middle. Bounces away, and ultimately scooped up by Morse. Morse boots it. It is downed awkwardly, but it is recovered by Van Beert. Kicked up, and swooping in and taking it is Lindgren Palm, who lifts it, downed by Cooney. Over to Van Beert. Up the field to Avery Thornton. Pass to Hassanane. Give and go for Avery Thornton, who's trying to race the ball, but the ball gets out of bounds first. Throw in. Booted away. Off the collision, it is kicked away. Avery Thornton chases it down, gets away from Berkson, pass to the middle, popped back up, but headed by Adonde. Hannah Thornton recovers, passes back to Van Beert. Van Beert kicks it, headed down, but recovered by Birmingham. Birmingham battling with Lieberman Wingirder. Just barely keeping control as she dribbles around the official. Now Jernigan boots it away. Throw in is just going to be allowed to bounce out the back end, and that'll be a goal kick for Brookline. Jernigan setting up to take this goal kick. Kick knocked away by Hannah Thornton. Rolls out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw in. Booted away by Hasselback and bouncing into the arms of Morse. Morse punts it. Deflected and downed ultimately by Van Beert. Kicked out to the far side. Race to the ball. First to get there was Chloe Jean, who passes it back to Lindgren Palm. Now kicked upfield and knocked out of bounds, Wellesley ball. Throw in, going up the line. Knocked out of bounds. Another throw in off the head of Lindgren Palm and out of bounds. Official just signaled to the coaches that there are 10 minutes left in this contest. Wellesley leading 1-0. This one booted forward. It gets to Avery Thornton, a pass out to the far side for Birmingham. Birmingham trying to gain the edge. Lindgren Palm not letting her. She cuts inside, and Lindgren Palm wrestles the ball away. Jernigan tries to boot it. It's walled off by Hassanein and knocked out of bounds. And is that a goal kick or a corner kick? And it's a corner kick. This one booted up, walled down, and ultimately booted away by Brookline. Bounces past Hamburger, chases it down, and kicks it up the line. Pass to the middle, finds its target. That's Hannah Thornton. Thornton, keeping with the ball, taps it to the outside for Gopal. Gopal gaining the edge, sending in a crosser, and just barely deflected away. Could not be kept in. Could not be sent in. Excuse me. Hasselback tries to fire one, and it's picked up by Morse. Morse punts it off the head of Gorman. Taken by Cooney. Cooney passes up the line for Avery Thornton. Thornton's kick deflects and is scooped up by Morse. Punted, it's downed. Berkson sends it up for Willers. Willers pass over to Lieberman-Wingirter. Lieberman-Wingirter's pass doesn't have enough on it. It's kicked away by Gopal. Jernigan sends it out to Lindgren Palm, sliced into the air. Scrum for the ball between Hassanein and West, won by Hassanein. Kicked forward, kicked away by Greer. Deflects. Hamburger trying to clear it, but cannot. It's taken by Willers. Willers gets smothered by a pair of defenders, but Lieberman-Wingirter manages to push it forward. It is sent back to Cooney. Stolen away briefly from Cooney, but Jean could not follow it up. It's taken back by Cooney and passed up to Avery Thornton. Thornton weaves around, kicks it out the far side to Birmingham, forward to Hannah Thornton. Now to the middle to Hassanein. Hassanein trying to fight her way through, but cannot. It's kicked away, recovered by Hannah Thornton, passed forward to Hassanein. Hassanein sends it out the far side for Gopal. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Wellesley ball. Quick throw in for Hannah Thornton. Thornton cuts around a defender. Thornton sends one in off the hands of Morse. It's still dangerously in the box, and it's off the bar. And with a goal kick coming up, a timeout is called by the Warriors. Wellesley still leads this game 1-0 off the goal from Grace Hasselback earlier in the second half. Sounds like we are in the closing minutes here. Might even be in the last minute of the game. Brookline's going to have to try and find something on offense if they want to put their own score on the board and potentially tie this game. Okay, I think I just heard from the official about 5.5 minutes left in this ball game. So still time in what is still a one-score game. But Brookline, who has kind of been living in their own end for the past several minutes, has got to find a way to push the ball forward and generate some offense. They generated some nice offensive chances in the first half, and they need to be able to find some similar openings so they can generate some more threats. Jernigan with the goal kick. Deflects off Hannah Thornton and cannot be kept in bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Brookline. Quickly thrown in up the line. And Hamburger takes it, kicks it up the line, completes the pass, but it's knocked away by Adonde into open space where Hamburger kicks it again. Greer steps up and boots it upfield. Bouncing along, it's Gopal that gets there first, boots it towards the middle. Downed by Hassanein and taken by Avery Thornton. Thornton dribbling, passes out to the far side to Gopal, who lifts it, and it's going to go out of bounds. Throw-in goes off the head of a Raider, and it's taken by Hamburger. Booted back. Coe takes it, gets through Thornton and passes up for Gorman. Gorman, hard collision with Hasselback, but they play on. Coe still trying to fight her way through, gets through, but waiting for it was Cooney. Cooney racing up the near side to flip the field. Pass knocked out of bounds by Greer. Big play from Kate Cooney, who has been a big player on defense for Wellesley throughout the day. Another Wellesley throw-in. Deflected. Gorman passes to the middle. Now a try and pass upfield, knocked away by Hasselback. Over to an open Birmingham. Birmingham winds and fires and sails it high. Goal kick coming up for Brookline. Jernigan boots it up high, out to the far side. It's deflected out of bounds off Wellesley. Quick throw in for Brookline. Booted Deflected past the outside and deflected out of bounds by Lindgren Palm. It'll be a Wellesley throw-in. Throw-in. Controlled by the Raiders and kicked upfield. Jernigan the first to get there, trying to fend off the pressure from Birmingham. She just has to kick it out of bounds. Deflects. And Adonde kicks it out the back end. That'll be a corner kick for Wellesley. Gopal kicks it in, off ahead, staying in the box. And out of the scrum, Morse comes away with it. Brookline players trying to race upfield as Morse punts it away. Bouncing upfield, it is controlled by Baker Dimmock, touches it up for Gorman, kicked out of bounds by Hasselback. Coe races in, throws it in. It's deflected back to Coe. Coe, quick pass to the middle to Lieberman. Wingirder, pass deflects and is booted away by Hasselback, and it gets right up to Birmingham. Her kick up goes right to Jernigan. Jernigan up in the air. It's downed by Cooney, controlled by Berkson. Berkson met by Hamburger, who boots it away. Adonde, kick knocked out of bounds by Birmingham. Brookline slowly starting to make their way upfield, but they've got to move quicker. We've got a whistle. Question is, who's the penalty call against? It looks like it's against Wellesley, as two players got tangled up there. It looks like they'll have Elin Lindgren Palm setting up to take the free kick. This is a big chance. Brookline's bringing up everybody. They're leaving nobody back except for the goalie. They know this is their golden chance to try and tie this game, and they want the numbers. There's the whistle. Kick sails in. Deflects down. Kicked! Saved! Kicked in! I'm not even sure I could see who knocked that one in. Let's see if we can check it out on the instant replay. Deflects up in the air. And last to touch it, I believe, was Anna Baker Dimmock as they tie it up at 1 apiece. Clutch goal for the Warriors. And they are not stopping. We've still got some time left to play. All tied up at 1. Coe kicks it up to Berkson. Berkson. And there is the triple whistle. And Brookline, by the skin of their teeth, manages the comeback tie. The final score here in Wellesley: the Wellesley Raiders 1, the Brookline Warriors 1. Lone score from Wellesley came from Grace Hasselback, and the lone score from Brookline, I am saying, came from Anna Baker Dimmock. What a thrilling contest that one was, truly down to the wire in the most literal sense. Hats off to both teams. Brookline generated some great chances in the first half. Wellesley adjusted very well in the second half and really seemed to have control of possession in the closing minutes of that game. But Brookline, coming out of that timeout, just barely managed to generate enough offensive movement to give themselves a chance. And off that penalty kick they managed to generate the tying score. Let's look at that one again one more time. As we see, it was Elin Lindgren-Palm who got this play started off with a free kick. This ball flew into the box. The initial kick was actually stopped by the goalie, but then Anna Baker-Dimmock with some great persistence. There were several players in there just swarming around like bees up on that play, which is exactly what they needed to do in order to secure the comeback tie. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I got plenty of more Brookline soccer on the docket. Boys and girls, all 3 levels, all 6 BHS soccer teams. So be sure to stay tuned for those. Subscribing to the channel can help. And if there's anything you would like to say, but the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. Also, go down below to the description section of the video where you can find a link to the Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, where you can donate to the funds that help support this BHS soccer program. Also, go down below to the description section to find information about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. Find out how you can support one of their many great charitable funds throughout the Brookline area, including the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School. And, of course, further down the description section, but also in the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see some more information about me. The URL to my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Also, you can email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Brookline 1, Wellesley 1 from Honeywell Park, in Wellesley, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.